Today, we're going to deconstruct an absolutely incredible secret encounter from a historical drama about Sultan Muhammad Al Fateh. What starts out looking like a pretty standard intelligence mission, well, it quickly spirals into this complex battle of wits, faith, and, you guessed it, the heart.
So, picture this. Our scene opens in a forgotten royal park that's now a cemetery for nobility. It's so overgrown and desolate, people say ghosts hang out here, even in broad daylight. This is the stage for a meeting that is anything but what it seems.
Okay, so let's get into section 1. We start with the pretense. Both of our characters show up under false pretenses, each one carrying a hidden agenda and a hidden weapon.
You know, the setting itself is practically a character here. This creepy, rundown pavilion isn't just a backdrop, it perfectly mirrors the decay of trust and the secrecy that's just shrouding this entire affair. It's perfect.
First up, we meet Marcy. Now, she's the daughter of a known conspirator, and she shows up to this dangerously isolated place totally prepared. She's got a dagger hidden in her cloak, but as we're about to find out, her sharpest weapon is, without a doubt, her mind.
And then we have Qasim. He's a commander, totally loyal to the Sultan. He's the one who arranged this meeting, supposedly for an official mission. But you can tell even he seems a little unsure about his real reasons for being here.
The two of them just sit there in this long, heavy, tense silence. You can practically feel the weight of everything they're not saying. And when Qasim finally does speak, the official reason he gives for the meeting just feels so fragile, you know? Like this super thin veil trying to cover up something much, much deeper.
But here's the thing, Marcy is not fooled for a single second. She sees right through his whole act, and in doing so, she completely flips the script and seizes control of the entire conversation.
So Qasim finally puts out his clumsy, official question. He's trying to play the part of this serious intelligence officer gathering info on a cleric named Abu Shafar. Honestly, it's a weak opening, and you can tell he knows it. And this is where Marcy's brilliance really shines. Instead of just playing along, she lays the entire conspiracy bare. She not only confirms what Qasim was suspecting, but she goes way further. She names names, details the whole plot, and even throws in her personal, scathing opinion of Skandar. She basically hands him the entire investigation on a silver platter.
And just like that, boom, the official mission is done. The whole pretense is shattered. Marcy has totally disarmed him, forcing the conversation away from politics and into something deeply personal. She knows this was never really about Abu Jafar.
So, with the professional masks ripped away, the whole encounter transforms. This isn't about espionage anymore. It becomes this trial of faith and philosophy, where the very definitions of what it means to believe and be sincere are put to the test.
Qasim, who's clearly wrestling with his feelings for a woman who's technically an outsider, he pivots. He goes after the one thing he thinks might give him some leverage, her faith. He basically asks, if you live by Islamic principles, why not just make it official? But Marcy immediately pushes back. She challenges the very idea that some public performance is necessary for a faith she already lives and breathes.
Her philosophy is just perfectly captured in this quote. I mean, what a takeaway on the nature of belief, right? For Marcy, faith isn't a label you wear, it's the sum of your actions. Sincerity and balance are Islam. Everything else is not. A public ritual, in her eyes, is totally meaningless without that core integrity.
Okay, so since he can't win the philosophical debate, Qasim shifts tactics. He tries a more practical approach. He starts arguing for these social currencies she'd get. You know, respect, status, new opportunities. It's a classic appeal to pragmatism over principle. But nope, Marcy rejects it instantly. She sees his practical argument for what it is, not just a compromise of her values, but a trap. To her, converting for social gain is just a performance, one that would lock her into a marriage with Skandar, a man she absolutely despises. Her belief is rock solid. Real respect comes from God through sincerity, not from people through ceremony.
So having been outmaneuvered intellectually and philosophically, Qasim finally he abandons all strategy. The debate's over, and what's left is just raw, honest emotion.
He drops all pretense with this stunningly poetic confession. He is completely captivated, not just by her beauty, but by the sheer depth of her mind. The soldier finally admits that he's afraid of getting lost in her. It's a huge moment.
When Marcy playfully calls him out for mixing his mission with this big personal confession, Qasim reaches for a familiar cliché. You know the one. He tries to justify his actions by saying, hey, in love and war, everything is fair.
But Marcy is not about to let that cliché stand. She brilliantly deconstructs his argument piece by piece, calling the whole philosophy flat out wrong. She argues it completely ignores human morality and is a justification fit for animals, not for people with a conscience. It's an amazing takedown.
Absolutely stunned, Qasim makes one last, profound argument. He doesn't retreat, he completely reframes the entire debate. He argues that loving her isn't a distraction from his duty, it's now intertwined with it. For him, the personal has become the very path to fulfilling the professional. Love and service are now one and the same goal.
And with that, she's finally silenced. See, she couldn't be won over by a cheap cliché, but she is completely disarmed by this sincere, beautiful fusion of love and purpose. He has won the debate by elevating it to a much higher plane.
And so, that leaves us with a final, really thought-provoking question. In this intricate dance of espionage, faith, and love, Qasim's emotional surrender, well, it doesn't feel like a defeat at all, does it? It might just be his greatest victory.